Hey everyone, so my delivery was delayed about 5 days, but as you can see, my new GoPro equipment is here. On my left is the new GoPro Hero 12 Black, and alongside it on the right, in a shiny bag, is the new Max Lens Mod 2.0. So what I'd like to do in this video is unbox both of these boxes, and then we'll take a first look at what GoPro are offering this year. So I've unboxed the GoPro Hero 12 Black and the Max Lens Mod 2.0, and I've ran a firmware update on the 12 and on my 11 Black as well. And then I had a quick play around with the lens quickly, and played around with some of the options and just seen what was different this year. And as far as what's different this year, I'll just talk about the elephant in the room and the fact that the cameras, well, it's a GoPro. The last few years, you really haven't had anything different as far as design goes. It's a standard GoPro design, but under the hood, both of these cameras are going to give similar performance as well. Now, when you look at them, you can tell this is a 12, obviously from the number at the side, but you can see there's kind of like blue paint, kind of specks of paint there on the front as well. You might love that design. It's kind of irrelevant in my opinion. I guess it does make it easy to distinguish which one's which. But yeah, you're essentially getting the same camera this year. It's the same design. Everything's the same. But they have made a few changes. The new GoPro Hero 12 has improved battery life. It has HDR photo and video. It's got an improvement on hypersmooth. And one of the best features, well, one of the features I'm hoping is the best, is support for wireless Bluetooth earphones. So the idea is that you can use your earphones and you can use that to record audio, which for me, if I'm recording in the car, I think it could be a very cool feature. But for the most part, you are getting a very similar camera this year. So it's a minor improvement. I've not tested it yet, but I mean, on paper, I think it is a minor improvement. But if you want to learn more, please do check out the website. Look at all the specs. Look at what's changed over the last year. What I want to do now is kind of focus on the unboxing experience and just give you my first impressions. So this is the box, which, as you saw at the start, came in this kind of paper, and it's the same as last year. Essentially, you're getting a black box with the contents at the side there. You're getting the features at that side, Hypersmooth 6.0, etc. And if you did watch my unboxing of the GoPro Hero 11 Black, or if you've got a GoPro Hero 11, you'll know there is one thing missing. Now, all of the accessories are the same except one. What you get in the bag, or what you get in the box, you get the GoPro Hero 12 Black, you get the Enduro battery, which I've got inside. You don't get a micro SD card, you have to supply that yourself. You get the USB Type A to Type C cable, and I've got quite a few of these. They're always quite short, but that's what it is. And you get an adhesive mount, and you get the clip with the fastener. this is a standard affair. This is what you get nearly every year with the GoPro. But as I'd said, if you have a GoPro 11 or you watch my unboxing of it, you'll know that last year it all came in this really nice GoPro box, and I've been using it, dropping accessories out, but you can see I've been using it to store a lot of camera accessories, GoPro batteries, lots of different clips here. I love this little case. This has been very useful to me. So I was a little bit disappointed when I opened it up and I noticed that there was no case this year. They've done away with it. There's no case. They're focusing solely on the cable and the clips, etc. So there's no actual GoPro case this year. To me, that's a step backwards, but that's what we're getting. Another step backwards, at least for me, maybe not for everyone else, but at least for me, the step backwards was the setup experience. So whenever you get a new camera, whenever you get a new GoPro, you have to update the firmware. That's, just good practice that you should do for everything, but they encourage you to do it right away. Update the firmware, get all the new features, get rid of all the bugs, etc. That's all good, but the experience for me was not good. So I logged on to the GoPro Quick app, and you can see I'm connected now. But I must have spent 30, 40 minutes. I had 5 or 6 attempts to connect the GoPro Hero 12, and it did connect, but the update wouldn't process. It wouldn't process. I kept getting these different errors. It kept restarting. It kept asking me to try again, and I had to continually remove the camera and then add the camera back. It was very, very frustrating. And ultimately, what I did was manually update it through my computer. I downloaded the update manually. I put it onto the micro SD card. I put it into the GoPro and I updated it. And it worked. Now, I then later on, when I was, using the GoPro 11, I noticed there was an update for this as well. And that one worked. That one worked wirelessly through the app. There was no issues there whatsoever. It just worked. So yeah, I'm not sure if this is something everyone's going to experience. I've not had any issues with this in the past, but it was a little bit frustrating that, take it out the box, you're like, oh, a new camera, and then you're spending 40 minutes going round in a loop and not getting anywhere. So that was a little bit annoying. I'll turn this on just to give you my initial thoughts on this. Maybe I can delve deeper in another video, but for the most part, and hold these up and operate them one-handed. For the most part, you're getting the same, layout here. You can change the modes between time-lapse, photo, video at the side using the mode button. You can record with the button at the top. You've got your little fingers at the bottom here. It's all the same. And you've got the settings. Turn around. Come on. There we go. And you've got all the settings if you pull down. So you pull down and you've got settings. Now, one of the things I noticed straight away is that we've now got this option here. We've got a new screen that shows you the SD card, that shows you how much is being used. There's a manager for the SD card. I really like that, and I don't know why they've not added it to the old version. I don't see why they can't add that. It's just weird that they've only added it to the new version. This has just been updated and it doesn't have it, but there you go. But yeah, for the most part, it's identical. All the options are the same. There's no major difference. I did notice, though, if you've got an existing GoPro, you might notice this. Come on, get this up. It's very difficult to do this one-handed. Yeah, I'll get this here. One of the things that I'd noticed that when you click on the video and then you go to change the settings, so you change it here, you change it here, they have made it a little bit different. Like previously, you had this kind of grid system like that, and it still has a similar kind of layout, but it's different now. You can see that the options are different with how you select things. They've just adjusted things. And again, I don't see why they can't roll this out to the 10, to the 11, to the 9, to any of the older GoPros. I don't see why they can't do that. Maybe they don't want to because they want to reserve that for the newest version, but I don't see why they can't, keep all of these consistent. And that's something I'd like. I don't think the older GoPro users should suffer. And certainly, if I continue to use a GoPro 11 and a GoPro 12 at the same time, the same, recording setup, I don't want these settings to be different. I want everything to be consistent. I want to not have to go, oh, we do, it does it this way in this one, it does it this way on that one. I'd rather that it was the same across the board. So hopefully they roll out these kind of new options to the older versions as well. But for the most part here, first impressions are it's a GoPro. It's the exact same as previous years. Very easy to navigate, very easy to change options, etc. I'm not always the biggest fan of this setup, if I'm honest. I would sometimes prefer, using keys or buttons for that. Certainly when the camera's wet, it's a pain to use these options, but that's what we have. Now, what you saw there, if you look here, you'll see there's an option for the Max Lens 2.0. I just want to quickly show you how this works. So I'll turn this off just now. Turn off. Okay. So what you have to do is you've got the lens here. Get in focus. And all I do is I turn it like that and it will come off like so. And now the actual naked lens is exposed. I'll set it down like this. Take this out like so. And I think it's just supposed to be like a quarter turn, but I found myself turning it more earlier on. And then you just turn it on like this. Hopefully I'm doing this right. So I've found it's a bit more of a squeeze with this one to get it on right. I think I've got it on correctly. I'll have to play around with that more just to make sure I've got it on tight, I've got it on correctly. But that's the idea, is that you just turn off the other one. Oh, it seems to be recording now. That's me pushing the buttons there. So yeah, what you do is you just quarter turn, take it off, and then put the new one on. Now, when you do that, and that's me, you can see the fisheye right away. What you need to do is make sure that this Max Lens 2.0 option is selected, and you can see there's an option there. There's also an option to select Max Lens 1.0 if you've got the older version of it. There you go, Max Lens, you can see there, Max Lens mode enabled. That's what the message was saying there. And now we've got this ultra wide angle. Now, just to quickly show you the difference here, it does make the front of the camera a little bit bulkier, but it's not like this is, it's not going to not fit your existing accessories. It's not excessive. And just to give you a kind of idea of price, because I'm a subscriber, the GoPro Hero 12 cost me £300. The lens cost me £80. If you're not a subscriber, it's £400 and £100 for the lens. So it's not a cheap lens, but it does make a big difference, and it does give you all these additional viewing angles that you wouldn't get otherwise. So that's enough talk from me, guys. I just wanted to unbox the camera today. I just wanted to have a quick look at it, and this is it. This is the GoPro. It's not the GoPro. The GoPro. This is the GoPro Hero 12 Black, and there's nothing too exciting here, to be honest. I mean, if you've got a GoPro already, you know what you're going to get here. It's a GoPro. We've had the same design for 4, 5, 6 generations now at this point. So yeah, the design hasn't really changed over the years. This is essentially a GoPro Hero 11 Black Mark II or B, however you want to look at it. But I do think some of the changes they've introduced here, such as battery life and different options, such as the wireless Bluetooth earphones, I think they're quite good. And I think it's difficult to justify them if you've got the 11, unless you're willing to sell this as well. But I'll leave it over to you guys. I'm trying not to jump to conclusions too much, because at this point I've only looked at specifications. But here we go. This has been the GoPro Hero 1112 Black and the Max Lens 2.0. Hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know what your first impressions are of this camera. And stay tuned. Over the next few weeks, I'm going to be playing around with this. I'll try and get out in the car with it. I'll try and get out running with it. And I'll try to use it and then give you guys my opinion of what I think of this year's version. So thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.